Hello, welcome to my Jacob's Doctor Who Series 2, Episode 2, Tooth and Claw review, and hope you guys enjoy. Okay, Tooth and Claw review. Wow. What happens basically is, there's this guy named, there's these old guys outside of this castle, and it's Sir Robert's and Isabel's castle of Sir Robert's father's castle, and basically what happens is there's these guys, like old guys, all outside, and then basically these guys in robes, bald hair guy, there's this guy called the Father, basically, and the Father has all these, I'd probably say monks, I don't know, church monks, and they basically take over the castle. They take Isabel, captured, Sir Robert's wife, and basically what happens is the TARDIS basically lands, of course, in the old century Queen Elizabeth times, and what happens is when the Doctor and Rose step out of the TARDIS, all these guards are outside, like the King's men, the Queen's men, of course, Queen Elizabeth's men, soldiers, if you want to call them soldiers, men, whatever. Basically, they're outside, and they raise their guns up to the Doctor and Rose. And the Doctor and Rose put their hands up, and basically, the Doctor is basically supposed to be Queen Elizabeth's protector. And Queen Elizabeth, in the carriage, calls Rose and the Doctor over. And says, "So, you're my protector," or whatnot. And so Rose and the Doctor basically go to the castle with Queen Elizabeth and her men, and they go to the castle, and Sir Robert is there, and Sir Robert lets them in, but tries to convince him to leave because there's trouble. And Rose, because it's so funny, Queen Elizabeth goes, Rose is trying to basically get Queen Elizabeth to say, "I am not amused," which is really cool. What Rose was trying to do, which actually worked, really. At the very end, though, you'll see why. And basically, Rose and the Doctor and Queen Elizabeth get invited in by Sir Robert, of course, and Sir Robert shows them this machine thing that his father had built, the Stargazer, that his father had built but wasn't finished yet. Which was really cool to see. You basically got to see Rose actually try and look for a type of dress, because she was kind of nakedness, because Queen Elizabeth didn't like her nakedness. Poor Rose, sorry to say, for Queen Elizabeth. So Rose had to try and look nice and presentable for Queen Elizabeth, and to sit at the dining table with Queen Elizabeth, whatever. And basically, Rose ended up seeing this girl named Flora, who came out of like the closet because she was scared of basically the monks that came in and took over the castle, basically. Um, of of Sir Robert's castle, of Sir Robert's father's castle, I should say. And basically, at the dining table, the Doctor and that were Sir Robert was telling the Doctor and Queen Elizabeth the story of the werewolf and stuff. And back with Rose and Flora, Rose and Flora tried to go to the Doctor, but they got captured by the the father's monks, and basically they captured them. Rose was captured, and they got taken to the guy in the captured cage, which was the werewolf. Um, and you got to see, basically, as I said, Sir Robert was telling the story of the werewolf and stuff, and then basically, trouble started because Sir Robert was like, they have my wife, they have my wife, they have my wife, and basically, Sir Robert and the Doctor ran, and the Doctor was like, well, at the dining table, the Doctor was like, what if the wolf people are already here? And then basically the Doctor and Sir Robert ran to save Rose and Sir Robert's wife, Isabel. And then basically you got to see the father try and kill the Queen Elizabeth. But Queen Elizabeth basically shot the father, which was really cool. Go Queen Elizabeth. And then basically what happened was Rose and Isabel were saved. And the other people were saved that were captured with the werewolf, but the werewolf was starting to turn into the werewolf because of the full moon. And then basically the prisoners got out, and basically people started arming themselves against the werewolf. And then basically you got to see Rose tell Queen Elizabeth and Robert and Rose to basically run. But before that happened, Isabel gave a kiss to Sir Robert, of course. Um, and then basically Rose and the Doctor and Queen Elizabeth ran, and then they basically ended up running, and then basically what happened is one of the guards ended up dying to protect Queen Elizabeth, and the guard was like, Doctor, you are the Queen's protector, and you must protect the Queen. But Sir Robert, you have betrayed the Queen and didn't trust Sir Robert anymore, basically. And then basically Sir Robert and Rose and the Doctor and Queen Elizabeth were in this room, and they barricaded the doors. And then in the kitchen, Isabel and that were in there, and Isabel and the two maids were in there, which was Flora as well. And basically, you got to see the werewolf scared of mistletoe. Basically, the werewolf is scared of mistletoe, which is really cool. To see. And then, as I said, the doctor and that were trapped in that room. And what happened was there's this crystal that is like was made by Queen Elizabeth's husband, and the machine had to work with the crystal basically, and the doctor figured that out. And and the coolest bit was like the books bit when the doctor put on his like these type of glasses and was like, time to books up or whatever, like army up or whatever with books. Which is really cool. And then they started reading books to learn how to defeat the werewolf, which was really cool. I like that. And then basically, as I said, the werewolf came in after they found out the crystal was supposed to destroy the werewolf. And then basically, like Rose, Sir Robert, and Queen Elizabeth and the Doctor basically ran again all the way up the stairs, and Rose almost got eaten by the werewolf, but just in time, Isabel wet the wolf with mistletoe, as I said, and because of, the wolf is kind of allergic to mistletoe, and then basically the werewolf, basically Sir Robert was outside, and they made it to the machine type thing, as I said before, the unfinished machine type thing, and the Doctor used the machine, the crystal, to destroy the werewolf, and then basically you saw the Queen. You saw I'm pretty sure the Queen did get bit in some way. But didn't really say to the Doctor that she got bit. And it's like a mystery type thing. And then basically you got to see at the very end, you got to see Queen Elizabeth go, "I dame you, Sir Doctor of TARDIS," and then "I dame Rose of whatever," and then basically then Queen Elizabeth was like, "I am not amused, and I banish you." From this place. So the Doctor and Rose got banished. What a shame. And then basically you got to see the Doctor and Rose go back to the TARDIS, of course, and talk about Queen Elizabeth. Maybe she is a werewolf, or her royal family's werewolves, which is pretty interesting to know. And then basically you got to see Queen Elizabeth again and Isabel, and Queen Elizabeth basically names the castle the Torchwood Institute to defeat threats like the Doctor. And basically that's when it ends. And thank you for watching my Doctor Who Series 2 Episode 2 review, Tooth and Claw. See you guys next time for another Jacob's review show of Series 2 Doctor Who. And see you guys next time for School Reunion. of Doctor Who Episode 3 of Series 2. Thank you for watching.